Okay, quick reminder of who Szyja is. So Szyja was Harry's oldest brother. He was born in 1888. He was the eldest grandson of the Biala rabbi, so a famous rabbi in the court of Biala. And as such, he was raised in expectation that he would be a successor. He studied all the time. He was treated as a little prince. And then in 1905 or 1906, so about when he's 16 or 17, he's discovered to have been working for the socialists. He's arrested, he's put in prison in Poland. His grandfather's Hasidic followers bribe a bunch of officials to get him out. And that seems to be the end of that rabbinic court. The four sons of the rabbi must have died shortly after that. The four sons, including Shia's father, they left Biala and they each set up a court in a smaller town around Poland. Between the time that Shia was imprisoned and the late 1930s, I know almost nothing about him. According to his obituary, he remained a loyal and dedicated member of his Socialist Party, but he no longer participated in their activities. He lived in Lodz for a while and eventually moved to Warsaw. He seems to have thrown himself into industry and also the support of secular Jewish cultural and charitable institutions. He also got married and had two daughters, so that by 1939, when the Nazis invaded, Shia was living in Warsaw. He was the wealthy owner of a roofing tile factory with two adult daughters, and he was also the managing director of the Warsaw branch of Yiva, which was a Jewish cultural organization. Shia didn't write anything himself, but he was known for reading widely in history and literature. And as the managing director of YIVO, he knew and supported many of the Jewish historians, novelists, and poets who were working in Warsaw at the time. So this is probably how he got to know this man, Emanuel Ringelblum. Ringelblum was among the first generations of modern professional historians. He was Jewish and he was a historian of Jews. He lived in Warsaw, and that probably would have continued on with some support from YIVO and men like Szyja Rabinowicz, except that World War II got in the way and the Nazis invaded and they took over Warsaw and they forced all the Jews into a ghetto, including Szyja Rabinowicz and Emanuel Ringelblum. So in 1940, while living in the ghetto, Ringelblum, along with Szyja Rabinowicz and about 50 other people, started a secret organization to record the experiences of the ghetto's inhabitants. And so for 3 years, from 1940 to 1943, they worked in secret to chronicle the lives of hundreds of thousands as they suffered starvation, disease, and deportation by the Nazis. Shortly before the ghetto was emptied and razed in 1943, they buried thousands of documents from this massive archive in milk cans and tin boxes. And now I'm just quoting, ensuring that the voice and culture of a doomed people would outlast the efforts of their enemies to silence them. But focusing on the documents and the archive, as important and amazing as they were, really actually underplays what else this group was doing, the other roles they had in the ghetto. So, beside the secret archive, this group were all part of something called the Elenhilf, which is the self-help group that organized food kitchens, clinics, schools, housing. All of this was illegal. They were not the official government. And Shia apparently was involved in all of that. And also, apparently, he was doing cultural institutions, like helping to run a folk choir. So it's really just an amazing thing. And the only other thing that I would say about this from the evidence we have is that Shia did occasionally send letters and messages back to his brother Harry in Chicago. He said very little. He said he was well. He said he was working. He reassured about the other family members and asked about the ones who were in the Soviet Union. Um, but you would never know any of this from his letters. Out of the 50 or so members of the secret archive, 3 survived the war. Neither Ringelblum nor Szyja Rabinowicz was among the survivors. But the elder of Szyja's 2 daughters, Irka, did survive. She had escaped to the Soviet Union, and in 1947, in a DP camp, she gave birth to Szyja's granddaughter, Yolanta, or Yola.